Statehouse, Nairobi. A GSU officer stationed at the main entrance was attacked and fatally wounded by an intruder who attempted to force his way into the compound.
Where an armed General Service Unit officer manning Statehouse, Nairobi, has been killed in a shocking attack while on duty.
Panic, confusion and disbelief gripped the country after an armed man attacked Statehouse, Nairobi on Monday morning, killing a General Service Unit GSU officer in what investigators now say was an attempted assassination targeted at President William Ruto.
It is important to note that unauthorized persons must refrain from accessing protected areas under the Protected Areas Act, Cap 204 laws of Kenya.
The attacker, identified as 56-year-old Kinyuka Kinyomi, struck at around 10 a.m. outside Gate D, one of the access points to the heavily guarded presidential residence. According to police sources and multiple media reports, the man arrived carrying a sack concealing a spear and a set of sharpened arrows. Without warning, he launched a deadly strike on the officer on duty, piercing him in the chest. The officer was rushed to Kenyatta National Hospital, but he died shortly after arrival.
The government will therefore uphold its constitutional mandate to secure our nation and its development, and shall treat every threat to national security and the integrity of our state as an existential danger to our...
Kinyuka was immediately subdued and arrested by other security officers at the scene. He later told police he had been sent by Satan, a statement that has left many Kenyans unsettled and questioning the mental and spiritual state of the attacker. But beneath that bizarre confession lies a deeper question. How would a lone man with a spear come this close to breaching the seat of power in Kenya? A Statehouse is supposed to be the most secure compound in the country. It is guarded 24 hours a day by multiple elite security units: the GSU, the Presidential Escort Unit, Recce Squad and intelligence teams. Entry is tightly controlled, cameras are everywhere, and even airspace above it is restricted.
Alaikum. Bwana asifiwe. Asanteni sana. Kwanza nataka nichukue nafasi hii niwakaribishe nyinyi nyote katika makao haya ya Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Karibuni sana.
Yet, on that very morning, Kinyuka managed to reach the outer gate without raising suspicion. Some of the witnesses say he had been loitering near the area, disguised as a casual worker or street dweller. Others suggest he approached under the pretense of seeking help or delivering a message. Whatever the case, he got close enough to attack and kill an armed officer before anyone could react.
Najua wengi wenu ni mara ya kwanza kufika hapa Statehouse. Na muko na ruhusa ya kukuja hapa kwa sababu makao haya ni makao ya wananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya.
The swiftness of the attack caught security personnel completely off guard. Initial response reports suggest that GSU reacted within seconds, neutralizing the attacker before he could advance beyond the outer perimeter. But that didn't stop the chaos that followed. Sirens wailed across the compound. Backup units were deployed. All entry and exit points were locked down. President Ruto, who was inside the Statehouse preparing for an engagement at Konza City, was quickly secured and moved to a safer location within the compound until the situation was fully contained.
Wanalalamika ya kwamba nimeyafungua makao haya yakawa ni makao ya watu rejareja. Ati hapa panatakikana atikuwa ni mahali ya watu mabalozi, wale watu wakubwa, lakini basi mimi
According to intelligence officers, Ruto's life was never in immediate danger since the attack happened outside the first perimeter wall. But the very idea that someone could get that close, armed and undetected, is alarming. It raises the uncomfortable truth that security at State House may not be all right, as Kenyans have been led to believe. In the aftermath, top security officials met to review the breach. Insiders say several officers have been questioned and a full audit of the gate's surveillance system is underway. CCTV footage is being reviewed to establish whether the attacker had outside help or prior knowledge of State House routines. The fact that Kenyuka was able to walk to the gate, conceal a weapon and strike before being stopped exposes serious lapses in vigilance and threat assessment. Questions are being raised about how guards are rotated, whether background intelligence on suspicious individuals around State House is properly acted upon, and whether complacency has set in among officers manning critical installations.
Nalalamika ya kwamba nimeyafungua makao haya yakawa ni makao ya watu rejareja, ati nimeshusha heshima ya State House. Mimi nataka niwaambie sijashusha heshima ya State.
This isn't the first time the presidency has faced a security scare. In 2017, heavily armed attackers stormed Ruto's private home in Sugoi, killing a guard and engaging elite officers in a prolonged standoff. That incident, like this one, exposes weaknesses in how threats are detected and neutralized before they escalate.
Article 37 of the Constitution and also the Penal Code, Cap 63, Section 78 and 82, clearly provides the conditions necessary for lawful assembly. Any contrary conduct constitutes an unlawful adult.
The recent attack adds to a growing list of embarrassing lapses in national security at a time when Ruto's administration faces rising political tension and public anger over economic hardship. The symbolism of someone attacking State House, the ultimate seat of authority, cannot be ignored. It's a message, intentional or not, that Kenya's top leadership isn't untouchable.
Hatuna nchi ingine inaitwa Kenya, ni hii peke yake tuko naye. Na sisi wote tuko na jukumu ya kuona ya kwamba nchi yetu iko sawasawa na iko na amani ya kutosha. Kwa hivyo mimi,
the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has launched a probe to uncover Kenyuka's background, motives and whether he had connections to any groups. Psychiatrists have also been brought in to evaluate the mental state, but even if he acted alone, his actions have exposed a chilling vulnerability at the heart of government. For President William Ruto, this incident serves as a wake-up call. Security around him and other top officials is expected to be overhauled. Expect a stricter screening, new surveillance technology, and a renewed focus on counter-intelligence. But beyond protocol, this is a reminder that leadership carries real physical risk. The attacker may have claimed to be driven by the devil, but what happened at State House is a sign that Kenya's security machinery cannot afford to take anything for granted. For now, the president is safe, but only just. If the man had breached one more layer, Kenya would be dealing with a national tragedy of unimaginable scale. The question that remains is not just how Kenyuka got that far, but how many others might already be watching, waiting, and planning the next move.